Good morning and welcome to the iTunes Workshop. We're so glad that you guys are here. Today we're going to learn how to download iTunes 8.0 onto your computer so that you can begin using iTunes as an educational tool on your campus. The first thing that we need to do is double-click on Internet Explorer and open up the Internet. As we're waiting for the Internet to pull up, I'll take this time to suggest to you, as we're going through this training, you can actually hit play and pause on your iPod so that you can do each step as we go. If you feel like you're getting lost or behind, you can actually just rewind your iPod, which you were shown before or earlier in the session, or pause it and ask for help. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the address bar and type in www.itunes.com. So that's www.itunes.com. What this will do is it will take us to the Apple website, but actually take us straight to the iTunes download to make it as easy as possible. So we'll wait for this to pull up, and here we are. Now that we're on to the iTunes page of the Apple website, we can now download iTunes 8 for free. One of the things I love about iTunes is that it is free and everyone's able to use it. Every time there's a new version, they put it straight to their iTunes website. But if you already have it downloaded onto your computer, there's actually an automatic update thing that the computer does for you. So you'll only have to do it one time on your computer. Okay, so what we're going to do is see this huge iTunes 8 button. We're just going to click on the free download, the words free download, and wait for our next screen. As we're waiting, you'll notice, now we're here, you'll notice on the left-hand side is a download iTunes 8 now. I want you to be very careful at this point because I want you to look at both of these sentences. These little check boxes are automatic. So it says, email me new music Tuesday and special iTunes offers. If you'd like to do that, leave it checked. If you don't want them to email you or have junk mail, you can just click inside that box and the check mark will disappear. This one is, keep me up to date with Apple News, software updates, and the latest information on products and services. Again, I usually unclick this so that I don't get junk mail. But if you are really into Apple, then go ahead and keep those checked. The next thing that we must do is type in our email address. So what I'm going to do here is put in my email address. So I'm going to type ngarvey@coppellisd.com. So here's where you would put your email address in. Once you have completed the email address, you can click on Download Now. And now that I've clicked Download Now, I'm waiting for the box to pop up for our next movement in iTunes. Just waiting. Okay, so here's our file download box. What we need to do here is always save the file to our desktop while we're working with iTunes. If we run straight from the website, sometimes things go slower or it takes longer to download, or if something interrupts in the middle, then you have to go back all the way to the beginning of iTunes and type in your email address and do it again. So just click on Save. And then now a Save As box pops up. What it does is it usually comes back to the very last folder that you opened, and we want to save the iTunes onto the desktop. So on our left-hand side of our screen, you're going to notice some buttons, and you're looking for the desktop button. It's the second one down. If you click on that, it will automatically take your computer or your Save As box straight to the desktop. Just leave the file name as iTunes Setup and click Save. It will begin to download. The download should take between usually like a minute to like 3 minutes. So we're going to let this download, and when it's downloaded, we are going to begin setting up our iTunes. Please hit pause on the training video now and wait for your iTunes to download. Once the download has finished, your screen will look like this. The website will go straight to a thank you for downloading iTunes. What you're going to have to do is shrink the internet or close the internet out because we don't need it anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and close. Wow, taking a long time, surprise. And you'll notice on your desktop you now have an iTunes setup right there. It's got like a little box with the iTunes symbol in it. Now it's time to install the new software onto our computer. Let's download iTunes now. So let's double click on the iTunes setup and wait for the next screen to pop up. All right, it says security warning, and it's just asking if you want to run this file. And you're just going to click on run. And now we wait. As we're waiting, the next part of our install should really be a step-by-step process that the iTunes program should lead you through. As we go through, we will begin to double-click and click and hit next and all that kind of stuff. So we're just going to wait patiently. Okay, here we go. Okay. So what we're going to do now is this is basically just telling you that they're also going to download QuickTime with it so that you can watch any of the movies or videos that come up on your screen. iTunes works hand in hand with QuickTime, just like Media Player and Movie Maker work hand in hand. So we're going to click Next. And then we're going to accept the terms by clicking in the icon that says I accept the terms in the license agreement. Next. Here's where it says, add iTunes and QuickTime shortcuts to my desktop. I like to do that so that it's an easy place for me to find. And then also it says, use iTunes as the default player for audio files. I prefer not to do that because a lot of the times I'm still working in Media Player and Movie Maker and Audacity. So I usually uncheck the default player. And then I move to Next or Install. We can change the destination folder, but this is perfect for what we need. So we just click on Install and watch as it installs. At this time, please click pause and wait for iTunes to install. You have officially installed iTunes and QuickTime on your computer. Note here in the middle it says open iTunes after the installer exits. What we're going to do is just go ahead and leave that checked and click on the Finish button. This will take just a minute and it will load or pop up iTunes on your computer. If you've gotten to this stage, congratulations, you made it all the way through our training video. And play around with the iTunes Store. I will show you in just a minute when it pops up where the iTunes Store is. It's right here, or right below Store. And click on Store, and it will take just a minute to load. And once it does, you'll have the options to click around and play around until we get everybody on the same page as you. So again, thank you so much for installing iTunes, and we look forward to the rest of the training class.